In the White House sat Lancelot R. Gilligrass, President of the United States of America. In this moment of crisis, all of his most important advisers have been summoned urgently to his presence, and the entire cabinet was present. The chief of the army was there, along with four other generals. There was the chief of the navy, and the chief of the air force, and a sword swallower from Afghanistan. There was the president's chief financial advisor, who was standing in the middle of the room trying to balance the $2 billion budget on top of his head, but it kept falling off. Standing nearest of all to the president was the vice president, a huge lady of 89 with a whiskery chin. She had been the president's nurse when he was a baby, and her name was Mrs. Tibbs. Miss Tibbs was the power beyond the throne. She stood no nonsense from anyone. Some people said she was as strict with the president now as when he was a little boy. She was the terror of the White House, and even the head of the Secret Service broke into a sweat when summoned to her presence. Only the president was allowed to call her Nanny. The president's famous cat, Miss Tabsypuss, was also in the room. There was also absolute silence now in the president's study. All eyes were riveted on the TV screen as the small glass object with the booster rockets firing slid smoothly up behind the giant space hotel. "They're gonna link up," shouted the president. "They're going on board our space hotel. They're gonna blow it up," cried the chief of the army. "Let's blow them up first. Let's have some really super duper explosions." "Silence, you silly boy," said Miss Tibbs, and the chief of the army slunk into the corner. "Listen," said the president. "The point is, who are they? And where did they come from? Where is my chief spy?" "Here, sir, Mr. President, sir," said the chief spy. He had a false mustache, a false beard, false eyelashes, false teeth, and a falsetto voice. "Knock, knock," said the president. "Who's there?" said the president. "Courtney." "Courtney who? Courtney won yet?" said the president. There was a brief silence. "The president asked you a question," said Miss Tibbs in the icy voice. "Have you Courtney won yet?" "No, ma'am, not yet," said the chief spy, beginning to twitch. "Well, here's your chance," snarled Mrs. Tibbs. "Quite right," said the president. "Tell me immediately who those people are." "Aha! That is a very difficult question. You mean you don't know?" "I mean, I do know, Mr. President. At least I think I know." "Listen, we have just launched the finest hotel in the world, right? And who is so madly jealous of this wonderful hotel of ours that he wants to blow it up?" "Miss Tibbs," said the president. "Oh, wrong, wrong, wrong. Try again." "Well, in that case, could it not perhaps be some other hotel owner?" "Brilliant. Go on, sir, you're getting warm. It's Mr. Savoy." "Warmer and warmer, Mr. President. Mr. Ritz, you're hot, sir. You're boiling hot. Go on." "I've got it. It's Mr. Hilton." "Well done, sir," said the chief spy. "Are you sure it's him?" "Not sure, Mr. President, but it's certainly a warm possibility. After all, Mr. Hilton got hotels in just about every country in the world, but he hasn't got one in space. And we have. He must be madder than a maggot. By gum, we'll soon fix this," snapped the president, grabbing one of the 11 telephones on his desk. "Hello," he said on the phone. "Hello, hello, hello. Where's the operator?" He jiggled furiously onto the little thing you jiggle when you want the operator. "Operator, where are you?" "They won't answer you now," said Miss Tibbs. "They're all watching television." "Well, this one will answer," said the president, snatching up a bright red telephone. This was the hotline direct to the Premier of Soviet Russia in Moscow. It was always open and only used in terrible emergencies. "It's just as likely to be the Russians as Mr. Hilton," said the president in Bhutan. "Don't you agree, Nanny?" "It's bound to be the Russians," said Miss Tibbs. "Premier Yugatov speaking." "What is on your mind, Mr. President?" "Knock, knock," said the president. "Who's there?" said the Soviet premier. "Warman." "Warman who?" "War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy," said the president. "Now, see here, Yugatov. You get those astronauts of yours off that space hotel of ours right this instant. Otherwise, I'm afraid we're going to have to show just where you get off. You get off?" "Those astronauts are not Russians, Mr. President." "He's lying," said Miss Tibbs. "You're lying," said the president. "I'm not lying, sir," said President Yuganov. "Have you looked closely at those astronauts in the glass box? I myself cannot see them too clearly on the TV screen, but one of them, they remind me of the Prime Minister of China." "Great garbage!" cried the president, slamming down the red phone and picking up Porcelain One. The Porcelain One went directly to the head of the Chinese Republic in Peking. "Hello, hello, hello," said the president. "Wings, Fish, and Vegetable Store in Shanghai. Mr. Wing speaking." Nanny, cried the president, banging down the phone. I thought this was a direct line to the premier. It is. Try again. The president picked up the receiver. Hello, he yelled. Mr. Wong speaking, said a voice at the other end. Mr. Who? Screamed the president. Mr. Wong, assistant station master, Chungking. And if you're asking about 10 o'clock train, 10 o'clock train, no running today. Boiler burst. The president threw the phone across the room at the postmaster general and hit him in the stomach. What's the matter with this thing? It's very difficult to phone people in China, Mr. President. There's so many Wings and Wongs, every time you wing, you get the Wong number. You're not kidding. Postmaster General replaced the telephone on the desk. Try it just one more time, Mr. President. I've tightened the screws underneath. The president again picked up the receiver. Greetings, Honorable Mr. President, said a soft, faraway voice. Here is Assistant Premier Chu on the desk speaking. How can I do for you? Knock knock, said the president. Who there? Ginger. Ginger who? Ginger yourself much when you fell off the Great Wall of China? Alright, chew on that. Let me speak to Premier how you been. Matari get at Premier how you been. Not here just this second, Mr. President. Where is he? He's outside mending a puncture on his bicycle. Oh no, he isn't, said the president. You can't fool me, you crafty old mandarin. At this very moment, he's boarding our magnificent space hotel with 7 other rascals to blow it up. Excuse please, Mr. President. You make a big mistake. No mistake, barked the president. And if you don't call them right off, I am going to tell my chief of the army to blow them all sky high. So chew on that. Chew on that. Hooray, said the chief of the army. Let's blow everyone up. Bang, 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 bang. Silence, barked Miss Tibbs. I've done it, cried the chief financial advisor. Look at me, everybody. I balanced the budget. Everyone clapped. Then suddenly the voice of astronaut Shuckworth cut in urgently on the radio. They've linked up and got on board, and they've taken in the bomb. I repeat, they've gone on board and taken the bomb with them. Stay well clear of them, Shuckworth. There's no point in getting your boys blown up as well. And now, all over the world, the millions of watchers waited more tensely than ever in front of their television screens. The picture on their screens in vivid color showed the sinister little glass box securely linked up to the underbelly of the gigantic space hotel. It looked like some tiny baby animal clinging to its mother. And when the camera zoomed closer, it was clear for all to see that the glass box was completely empty. All 8 of the people had climbed into the space hotel, and they had taken their bomb with them.